Related to course policies is going to be the attendance policy. Let's talk about the lab policy first. If you have to miss a lab for any reason, you are free to make it up with the other lab section or with another class. Now, I would recommend making it up with your with the other lab section simply because every professor is a little different in how they do their grading. So, particularly if you're doing a lab that requires you to gather data for a lab report, it's better to take it with a section because you'll have lab partners in your class you can go talk to. Now, you are still to adhere to the 10% attendance policy when it comes to lab. So if you miss more than 10% of the labs, then technically you can be withdrawn from the course for a violation of the attendance policies. Now, if you have excused absences, and excused absences that are things that are documented, let's say you have a medical emergency, if you have something related to your car and you can give me a mechanic's bill showing that your car needed to be fixed, if you have a work schedule conflict, if you have a job interview, something like that, I typically count those as excused absences. They don't hurt you. The bigger thing is if you just don't show up. While I am more inclined to count a lab as excused if you make it up with the other section, if you're chronically doing it and you're not giving me documentation, you will be removed from the course. Now, class is the same way. If you need to miss a class for whatever documented reason, that's fine. But if you miss up to 10% of the course, you can be withdrawn from the course for violation of the attendance policies. Now, what about the tests? When it comes to the test, and you'll see this in the syllabus, if you have to miss the test for a documented reason, you have up to 1 week to supply me with the documentation and take the makeup exam. Beyond that, I will consider it on a case-by-case basis, but I am very unlikely to bend that attendance policy. Now, there are obvious exceptions. We have test 3 right before spring break. I'm not going to make you come in the week of spring break to make up the test, so you have until the week after spring break. But again, this needs to be a documented excuse. If you know in advance you're going to miss a test, please contact me. I try to be very flexible in this regard, so this way you can schedule a makeup earlier and get it out of the way. Now, the only exception to this makeup policy is the final exam. And the reason I can't schedule a makeup for the final exam is that the classrooms are completely booked. So there's nowhere for me to give you this makeup final exam. So if you have to miss the final exam, there's nothing I can do for you in that regard. That's going to be a 0%. Now, in terms of class tardiness, if you consistently show up to class for tardy, 2 tardies count as one unexcused absence. If you are having issues with getting to class because of transportation issues or because of job issues, it's important you let me know. If I know, I'm more inclined to overlook the tardies than if you're just consistently showing up late to class. Now, in terms of class behavior, please don't be on your cell phone. Please don't get up and walk out in the middle. I actually had a student get up and walk out in the middle of the test to go use the bathroom, and then they took his test away. It's really important that if you need to go to the bathroom, you let me know, especially in the middle of the test. But try to be respectful and try not to get up a lot. It's really distracting to the other students. So that's the gist of the attendance policies.